It's our first day in Thailand. We landed this morning at about 9:30 and then got to our hostel about 11:30. We've got a private room in the hostel, so it's just the two of us, and then we're doing shared bathrooms. We were a bit tired when we got here, so we went for like an hour nap and ended up sleeping for about 6 hours. But this evening we had a little wander, went to a food market, and learned that next time we go out we'll definitely take our ponchos with us because we got very, very wet. First night in Bangkok, street food, and it's raining. It is 8:15 on our first morning, and we are off to get the bus. We're going to go and see the Grand Palace today, and then a few other bits. So hopefully it goes well. We'll see. We successfully navigated the bus with only a little bit of confusion. It was about 30 baht each, which I think is about 70p. Then we got to our first stop, which was the Grand Palace. Entry was 500 baht, which is about £12. We had a little wander around and joined a free walking tour. So a woman told us all about the history of the buildings. I had to make sure that I had my shoulders covered and my knees covered, and then we had to take our shoes off when we went inside temples. For this one, Matt had to have his knees covered, but in the other temples we've been into, people haven't been as fussed. Our ticket also got us entry to see some traditional Thai dancing, so we got a free bus there next. We stopped on the way and had a cheeky pad thai, which was super tasty before we saw the traditional Thai dancing. Unfortunately, they didn't let me film it. After that, we walked down to Wat Pho, which is another temple. I think you can get massages here as well. We didn't. We just went to see the reclining Buddha. Literally didn't realise how huge it was going to be. Really enjoying this little video of Matt struggling with his money belt. Anyway, more of Wat Pho, which I think was one of my favourites. These little pointy things were properly beautiful. After that, we went to get a ferry over to Wat Arun. Kind of crazy to wait for it and have the water sloshing up on the sides. It was quite a quick journey, literally just going across the river. It was 5 baht. I could not work out how much that was in my head, but it's very cheap, very cheap. It was a beautiful day, so that was great. Entry to Wat Arun was about 200 baht, and you also got a free bottle of water. Again, it was absolutely beautiful. Some girls warned us that it was about to rain, so we didn't stay all that long and tried to hop on the ferry back. As soon as we got on the ferry, literally it started to downpour. Probably not the place that you want to be in a storm. So we popped into a cafe and tried to wait it out, but it was literally awful. There was so much flooding, we had to walk through water, which was like 4 hours. We tried to get a bus and failed. Had to get this tuk-tuk, which went on the wrong side of the road. I think you might be able to see the fear in my eyes. Second day in Bangkok, we got a grab to Chinatown to have a wander around. There were literally so many smells, so many things going on. It was really, really busy, but great to see, and we really enjoyed it. Lots of like dried squid, different food, so I definitely recommend it. I think they have a golden Buddha, but we didn't see it. After that, we got the Sky Train to Chatuchak Weekend Market, which is on just the weekend. It was literally huge. There were so many stalls. I thought when we left we'd done most of it, and then we walked past it and literally we'd only done like 10%. They have loads of stalls outside next to the road selling different things. There's like a food section, a clothes section. I bought, what did I buy? Oh, a nice little shirt and a hat, just because I needed some more things for going into temples. And then we also decided to have a massage. We went for foot and shoulder, and we went for 60 minutes, and it was 250 baht each, which is about £6. Mine was pretty gentle, but I think Matt basically got beaten up. After that, we went to have some food. It was about 50 baht. Just been to Chatuchak Market, which was lovely. We got there quite early, and it was quite quiet, which was nice. It's getting a little bit busier, a little bit hotter, so we're going to head back to the hostel. Just a little moment of appreciation for our hostel. We went for one called The Yard, Bangkok, and it was like a little haven in all of the madness and the business. It was quite far out, but we were fine getting the bus and train to different places. It's all focused on sustainability, so they have like free drinking water for you to fill up your bottles, and then lots of different things around to help that too. So we've had a chilled morning this morning, had breakfast and a little sit at the hostel, which is lovely. Now we're going to walk. It's about an hour and a half walk. We've booked in to go and see some Muay Thai boxing this evening. So that is, I think, at 5:30 or 5. It's a bit hot. Apparently this is called an Asian water monitor, and it is the second largest dragon after a Komodo. We were absolutely starving and we found a store on the street selling bao buns. These were 96p for 2 and they were literally so good. It was exactly what we needed. We had a bit of time to kill, so after that we ducked into a coffee shop. Oh, I can't remember what it was called. Here it is. Monument Cafe, which was pretty cool. Had a nice little iced latte. I feel like they're pretty popular here and obviously I'm keen. We'd booked to see the Muay Thai at the Honeymoon, I think, stadium. It was quite expensive, but I think it was worth it. Matt got stopped outside the stadium and interviewed by this man who said it was like his first time interviewing, and he was asking questions to Matt, which I loved. Ready for Muay Thai? So we're not entirely sure what the rules are, but definitely something about kicking and punching. Matt said that it's a good job it is far back because apparently if you go and watch boxing match, there's a lot of sweat and spit, so hopefully we don't get that. We both really enjoyed watching it, and I think I definitely need to get myself a lesson before we leave Thailand now. So we're up bright and early this morning because we're going on a tour. We're going to the railway market and then the floating markets, which have been recommended on loads of different sites. And we decided to just book an organised tour because it was just looking too tricky to do it by yourself. So yeah, hopefully we'll enjoy it. Our tour guide was great. She took us to the train station and then she also showed us the salt fields where they harvest salt. Here's the train coming in. We had to kind of stand on a step ready to get in and then rush onto it. You can see loads of people are taking pictures. Here's Matt looking like a happy little person. Our first stop was the railway market. So basically all of the stalls are on the train tracks, and every time a train comes they have to put everything away so that the train can squeeze through the tiny little gaps in between the stalls. After that we got back in the van and made our way to the floating markets. I'm not going to try and say the name because I feel like I'm literally butchering all of the beautiful Thai pronunciation. It's a market where the stalls are either side of you and you go down on a boat. Apparently it's a lot quieter now. It hasn't kind of got as busy as it was before COVID, but I think that was quite nice because there was less traffic. So we're headed back to our hostel to pick up our bags after a lovely day at the floating markets and the railway. We have a few hours to kill. We're like both feeling a little bit sniffly, so we'll try and drink lots of water. And then we've got the overnight bus to Chiang Mai. So that's it, Bangkok, we're done. Here's a breakdown of our spend while we were in Bangkok. I've split it into different areas. In terms of transport, we tended to get the SkyTrain or buses there, so I think that kept costs down. We also, for food and drink, ate in a lot of markets, and as you can see from our itinerary, this time we didn't make it to Koh Sam Road, but I think next time we'll try and do that. If you're only in Thailand for a few days, I would say maybe skip the floating markets tour. It was nice, but maybe not a necessity. Muay Thai, as I said earlier, was a bit more expensive, but I definitely think it was worth it. One thing I've put in miscellaneous is our Thai SIM card. We got one for the month and it was 250 baht, which I think is definitely worth it to have unlimited internet everywhere you go. Our total spend so far is also on this page. One thing I did add, so that's kind of vaccinations and flights, one thing I did add was travel insurance. We ended up going for post office and it was £630. Anyway, if you end up travelling to Bangkok, enjoy!